When does an urban legend stop being an urban legend? Could it be when a crime is brought to light? How does a story cross over into reality? That is the tantalizing question we will attempt to answer tonight. I'm Special Agent Casper Bollocks of the Covert Federal Division of Unexplained Phenomena, and this is Behind the Movie Killer. In 1992, a series of grisly murders occurred throughout Chicago's housing projects. Investigating authorities soon discovered that the murders were based on the urban legend known as Candyman. Because the authorities didn't have open enough minds, there were a lot of holes left in the investigation. Helen Lyle, a graduate student at the University of Illinois, was soon taken into custody in connection with the killings. Helen claimed to have been investigating the killings for a research paper. That was at least plausible. However, things got a bit messy when she also claimed that Candyman was in fact real and actually stalking her. According to Helen, she was also a victim. According to leading psychiatrists, Helen was clinically insane and earned herself a one-way trip to the loony bin. Helen's story of her Candyman connection stuck straight to the urban legend. According to police documentation, she claimed he began stalking her after she said his name 5 times into a mirror.
All right. Candyman, 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 Candyman. Candyman.
She also stated that he had a large, rusty hook lodged into the bloody stump of his severed hand. Ugh, gross. No one believed her, of course. However, perhaps no one wanted to believe her. And then she escaped. No one saw Helen leave the hospital. The last person to speak with her was her doctor, but he no longer had anything left to say. It is unknown exactly what happened to Helen after she fled. Some say she got seriously drugged up to celebrate her freedom, but a small amount of believers say that she confronted Candyman one last time. Regardless, Helen soon met her end. Despite the evidence that was collected, Helen was never posthumously convicted of the Candyman killings. Realizing that local authorities weren't ever going to get to the bottom of this mind-boggling case, mostly because of their lack of due diligence, I decided to dig deeper into the Candyman legend myself. Trust me, there's nothing sweet about Candyman's story. 130 years ago, Candyman was the son of a slave who became prosperous after developing a system for mass-producing shoes during the Civil War. Candyman grew up in polite society and became a well-known artist after secretly falling in love with and fathering a child with a white woman that he was hired to paint. Candyman was set upon by a lynch mob hired by his lover's father. They cut his dominant right hand right off, hence validating the hook that Helen saw in her story. From there, the mob smeared Candyman with honey, attracting a swarm of hungry bees, which stung him to death. With the crowd saying his name over and over, Candyman, 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 Candyman. Candyman took his last breath while gazing at his horrid reflection. But the story didn't end there. Instead, the story would go back to feeding the urban legend even further, with Helen now a part of it. Unfortunately, it sometimes takes a non-believer to make us believe once again. I believe that the Candyman, he is still out there,